it's my first love. Graphite
Yeah.
it's a soothing medium. It is a slow art. It is a contemplative art. There is nothing that's rushed about it. There is nothing urgent about it. And I like that. I like the meditative process behind graphite.
Lizl, it's so great to meet you.
Likewise, thank you for having me. This is such a great honor. It's absolutely amazing to meet you.
Anina Dietlefs told me about you, and I also did
Oh,
it
really?
with her, yeah, a while ago. And I always love to speak to South African artists, and that's so lovely to see you in your studio.
Thank you. Yes, this is where I feel most at home. This is my happy place where all the magic and the tears and the joys and everything happen,
But
where I spend
wonderful,
most of my time.
wonderful that you have a space like that. And but where are you based?
I'm in Cape Town, in the northern suburbs of Cape Town, South Africa.
Good. And that's where a lot of inspiration probably comes from for you, because it's so beautiful there.
It is absolutely, yes, it is. It is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Although I haven't traveled for a while, but yeah, I think home is where the heart is, and I think my heart is in my studio.
But have you been always drawing as a child as well?
I think yes. I was always with a pencil and a paper in hand, but not just drawing, just being creative.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm creative in all the ways. Drawing is my first love, sketching, creating graphite artworks. That's my first love. That's always my go-to, my number one. But being creative in general, I'm always busy with something, creating something, always busy with whether it's art journaling or uh, creating paintings or playing with clay with my daughter. I'm always busy with something.
But has it been like that since you were a child? Have you been inquisitive and creative like that?
Yes,
Mm.
yes, I have. I I think I was at my father was an artist, an informal artist. He was an architect, so he was also always walking around with a pencil and drawing at the back of his cigarette boxes.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
I
I
learned that
remember.
habit.
No, I remember my
That
dad used to make notes on his cigarette boxes.
yes, those little 30
Yeah.
cartons, they were perfect
Yeah.
for note taking and little sketches. I'm sad that he always threw them away. I never kept any of them.
Mm.
But that's where I learned the habit of always drawing. I watched him draw, and I was always drawing. So yes, throughout my childhood, always. It wasn't always my career path, but I've always been drawing my whole life.
But and in school, did teachers notice that you were creative and artistic?
School. I think school is where they either make you or break you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, Primary school, yes. But when I got to high school, my high school teacher tried to discourage me from drawing. He actually told me I didn't have any talent. And please not to take art as a subject. Um, and I was angry with him for a lot of years for doing that. But on hindsight, I think he he spurred me on to do better. He gave me that little blackmail motivation of trying to prove myself, and I did. I think I did. I think I proved myself. In the meantime, I did try and join college for a stint, but I failed miserably at college. I
Really?
learned a couple of beautiful lessons there, but
Mhm.
no, I didn't succeed at art really at school.
But I'm thinking now, I'm also like that. If somebody tells me you can't do it, then it just spurs me on to really try and prove that I can do it, you know? So
The
maybe
rebellion in
that's what you
us.
needed. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's always interesting. There's always this one, I find with many artists, musicians, everybody that I talk to, there's always this, it's either the parent or the teacher or somebody who had faith in them, you know, to encourage them. But in your case, it's almost the opposite. It's somebody who
It's the
didn't have
opposite.
faith in you, who you know, spurred you on.
Yeah, I think it's the rebellion.
Yeah.
We have that rebellious nature. We've always got to try and prove them wrong. And I think I do that with most areas in my life, not just my art. Um, I lost my train of thought.
No,
Sorry.
but now in your art, this is what I wanted to ask you. So in your art, do you do that with yourself as well, where you almost challenge yourself to think, but I'm going to explore something and I want to prove that I can do it. I wanted to prove it to myself, not necessarily prove it outside.
Constantly,
Mm.
constantly, with every artwork that I create, whether it's an artwork for the gallery or an artwork in my sketchbook, I'm always trying to push my own boundaries. I'm always trying to look for that little bit of extra um, technical ability. I'm into perfectionism, as you can see through my art. So I'm always trying to just push myself a little bit further in each artwork, not only technically, but also with the story which I tell in each artwork. Um, the I want the artworks to resonate. I want people to stand back and talk about the artwork. And I want them to walk right up against the artwork and see each pencil stroke and the technical ability, uh, the shadows, the shading. I want them to be able to talk about that. I want that to be a talking point. I want the story of the artwork to be a talking point as well.
Do you see the artwork in your mind before the time, or does it evolve as you work?
It evolves. It evolves. At the moment, I'm working on a series called Traditions for Art at Africa and the Waterfront in Cape Town. And for them, I am concentrating on portraiture. So I know which direction that one's taking. Portraiture in the tradition sense, and you add a modern element. Um, so with that one, I try and find the portraits, and I'll let the modern elements speak to me as I start sketching,
Mhm.
as I start drawing. So I don't always plan ahead. Sometimes I do, very rarely, but I think I let the artwork speak for
Mm.
me at the moment in that series. When it comes to my paper artworks, I do plan ahead. I plan as a unit, as a portfolio, and I generally take themes, depression, identity themes, themes that would resonate with people. Um, so I do sometimes. Yes, it depends on the topic that I'm working
Okay.
on.
But the topics, is it something that you think about, or is it something that you get from people, you know, like the inspiration that you get by hearing what people are talking about and then incorporating it in your art?
No, it's all me. It's
Oh,
all
okay.
what I'm going through at the time. I think because art is so personal,
Mm,
trying to create art, I think that what other people want is not going to sing as much as what artwork does when it comes from your own heart.
yeah.
It needs to come from your soul. It needs to come from yourself. And when you do that, the chances are it's going to resonate with someone else as well. All the artworks I've created has got a personal meaning, comes from a personal story, whether it's a personal meeting uh, with a portrait that I've done, or whether it broaches the topic of depression, or even just an interest like Alice in Wonderland. I love Alice in Wonderland. So I've created artworks based on Alice in Wonderland, but in my way.
Oh,
So,
okay. Mm.
mm,
So your portraits, if you get live models to do the portraits on. Oh, you don't.
no,
Um,
I used to be a photographer,
mm.
and I spent a lot of time taking street photography and photos of people that interest me, chatting to them, getting to know their backstory. So I use a lot of those photos. I've got a stock that goes back many, many years. And this is probably where people are going to start crucifying me, but I feed my own photos into an AI system, and then I change it a bit. I change the narratives behind it a bit. And I think AI should be used as a tool and not
Exactly.
avoided full stop. It's a tool. It's like everything else in the world. We are being given tools to use, and I think it's important going forward because it's becoming part of our lives. Um, so I basically take my photos and I tell AI, this is the narrative that I want, this is the look that I want, and I play around with that until I get the look that I want, and I use that as a reference.
Wow. And it's true what you're saying. I mean, there's a lot of benefits from using AI in many fields, and it's
Mm,
you know, everybody's been criticizing it so much, and yet not seeing the benefit that we
the
can. And I think
benefits.
yeah, I think it's with everything. Um, you know, I mean, I remember seeing an advert of the first car when the first car was um, driven through a small little town. Everybody criticized it and said, you know, it's evil and I don't know what else. And here we are all driving cars. So I think it's that
Exactly.
new idea and concept that people have to get used to, um,
Mm.
and see the benefits of it, you know.
Yes, I think
Mm.
all tools have got their negative sides, the wrong way of using them. You can get into a car and go drunk driving or speeding, and that's
Exactly.
obviously the wrong way of using it. And it's the same with AI. AI is going to steal other artists' work, but or do it all the other negative things that goes with it. But you could use it as a positive tool as well. And
Mm.
I believe if I look at the way my kids use technology versus the way I use technology, it's a whole different world. I don't understand
Yeah.
what they're doing on with technology anymore.
Mm.
So it is the reality. We've got
Exactly. Yeah.
technology improves. You go
Mm.
with the flow or you pick it against it.
Yeah. So, what was initially for you um, the inspiration to use graphite and the pencil and the pencil sketches? to do
Oh.
that?
Oh, I don't think I've ever been asked that question before.
Oh, okay.
I I don't know. I think it's just a natural medium for me. I don't think I actually ever explored anything else. I think that was my first love, and I didn't go looking for anything beyond that. Um, I I don't I I, I I'm flawed. No,
But
sorry, I'm completely flawed.
this is,
It's my first love.
yeah.
Graphite it's a soothing medium. It is a slow art. It is a contemplative art. There is nothing that's rushed about it. There is nothing urgent about it. And I like that. I like the meditative process behind graphite. I like that there is no instant gratification behind it. You've got to work at it. You've got to build on it. So I don't really think I ever thought about using anything else other than graphite. Maybe pen. I started working with pen at
Oh,
some
I
point,
see.
but I keep returning to graphite. So I think we've just got a connection.
But it's interesting that you say that. I actually like writing with a pencil for some reason. I'm always intrigued with pencils, to write with a pencil. So this was interesting for me to see your art and thinking, okay, I wonder, do you also write with pencil, or is it just when you do? Okay, interesting.
In all the colors that you can find.
Oh, okay.
I've discovered there's the most amazing graphite color pencils. They're not like a color pencil that's oil based. They're literally graphite and they're
Oh,
in color. It's the most amazing thing, medium that I've been playing with recently. So color is coming in. Watch the space.
wow.
But there's something about the feel of working with graphite and it gliding across the paper that is just so incredible. I don't think I can get that from any other medium.
But that's so lovely. I mean, this is almost like, sometimes I ask a musician why did they choose a specific instrument, and it's something to do with the sound and that made them attracted to it. And this is now with you. This is your medium. This is something that you find that you love working with.
It's I think we've all just got that one calling, that one um, that one soul connection. Maybe more if we're lucky, but graphite is definitely my one soul connection.
So when you do you ever find that you've got that lovely studio and that's your place, and you say also that's where the tears come and the frustration, but do you find sometimes where you stuck in not wanting to work or not knowing what to do next?
Yes, that happens quite a lot, actually. I call that the 5 stages of grief. Each time you stop, when you complete an artwork, you've got to let go of that artwork. You've got to divorce yourself from that artwork and that concept, and you've got to clear your mind and your space to make way and to create a new space for a new artwork. And that in between time from finishing an artwork to starting a new artwork, you go through all these emotions, and it is sometimes quite sad, really depressing. But then when you start with an idea of what you're going to get, what you're going to start the next with the next artwork, it all slowly comes together. It and you build it up. I think the hardest part for me is to start
Oh, okay.
anything. I think that's probably the ADHD part, but to start something. And my the first, I would say, 20 hours of an artwork is the hardest part for me. I take the longest for the first, those first 20 hours feels like 100 hours for me.
Really?
Um, but those first 20 hours would probably be split up over a month, because you're having this conversation with this artwork all the time. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is your insecurities coming out? Can I do this? No, I can't do this. Yes, I can do this. I've done this before. And you go through this whole mental breakdown and mental build up, until you find that happy space in the artwork again. And then you carry on with the next artwork. But often what I do is the in-between spaces, I try and do something else, move on to something else, draw little daily doodles. One thing that I've recently started is I log on to Google Maps, and I actually find myself a little town or little scene, and I draw myself a little landscape, just literally just 5 minutes. And I'm not a landscape artist, so they don't look good. They really don't look good. But it's the process of creating and getting out of your mindset of this big artwork that's waiting for you, that gets you going again and gets you out of your rut. I think so. Drawing every day for me.
That's interesting, because it sort of takes you, like you say, it takes you away from it, and it's almost like stepping. If you physically step out of where you are working and you come back, you almost clearer. So you are now, as in art, you're stepping out of your artwork to something else. But when you do that, is it because you said you're a perfectionist, and you said if you do that, going on Google Maps and doing the landscape, do you find there you're also perfectionistic and want to do it perfectly?
That is actually the reason why I started this process. Is I'm trying to get out of that perfectionist
Okay.
zone. I'm actually trying to loosen myself back up again, because sitting this far away from a sketch all the time, you kind of sometimes lose the bigger picture. You lose the feel behind everyday art. So I try and loosen those sketches up. I try and just get the general line work down. And I don't focus on the detail at all. I focus on the shapes, and I focus on the art, on the styles. I've been following a couple of YouTubers, who does the urban sketching, and I'm trying to learn through them of how they do it, and just getting out of my own headspace and my own perfectionism, and just being freer. And I think it helps. It really does help, just getting out of your own comfort zone and your own mental instabilities and breakdowns, facing your own perfectionist artwork, just creating something that's almost, I don't want to call art ugly. Art is never ugly, but compared to what I do,
Yeah.
just your freestyle artworks, if you know what I mean. Just to loosen up. I need to loosen up. I know this is what I need to do. It's hard. It's difficult to loosen up.
Yeah. But do you find, with the fact that you are very perfectionistic, that you keep going back to artworks to try and get it more perfect? Or can you find at that time where you say, okay, now it's done. I'm not changing anything?
I don't think an artwork is ever done.
Mm.
I think my deadlines dictate when I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Very, very hard to say an artwork is completely done. I can look at any artwork and I can carry on. I've got a little sketchbook that I work at on a daily basis, and none of those artworks are ever done. And I give myself the freedom to go back and add a little bit more, but I don't have that freedom when it comes to my gallery artworks. So there comes a time when you just have to say, okay, take a deep breath, step back. This is fine. This is fine. This is okay. So it's every artwork has their processes, but I don't think any artwork is ever done.
And the first time you exhibited your work, were you very confident about it? Did you think people would buy it or be interested in it?
And I'm still not confident.
Really? I can't believe it.
My insecurities go deep, but not for my artworks. I stand behind my artworks and I believe in my artworks. I think the insecurities lie with me, with my personality. I am always petrified when people stand in front of my artworks. I'm always petrified. I think it's a daily struggle for me, but I stand behind them. I know they are good. I've put my heart and soul into them, and I believe every artwork that gets created will always find their forever home. But getting to that process of accepting that is difficult.
But is it hard for you to let go, to sell? Or would you like to know who buys your artwork, or is it fine for you to just have a gallery, sell it, and you don't have to know where it goes?
I think in the beginning years, it was really difficult to let an artwork go because each artwork is so personal. And you create artwork because it comes from inside of you. But creating artwork specifically for the gallery, I think you've got to get yourself into that mindset of, I'm creating this one to set it free. This one is not mine. This one is not for me to keep. I do have artworks that I create only for myself, and I will never part with them. But the general thing is, I know when I start a artwork, this one is going to be set free and she's going to find her forever home somewhere and she's going to be happy. I think the one thing that just bugs me sometimes is what happens with that artwork once the artwork has left. Is she going to be happy where she's hanging? And that crosses my mind. All the time. You know, I often walk through secondhand stores and find these artworks, and I'm thinking to myself, is my artwork going to end up in a secondhand store
really?
somewhere? Don't know. Is it real? Is insecurity real? I don't know.
But then, even if it ends up in a secondhand store, somebody else is going to buy it and treasure it. You know. So
I suppose so. Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose everything finds their home. Yeah. I agree. Yes.
But you said in the beginning that you tell the story you want to tell, so you express yourself through your art. But do you find that galleries tend to require certain things and or they want to sell and then they require from artists to do a specific thing?
Um, I I think being an artist, you have to find your village,
Okay.
your people. You
Mm.
have to find the gallery that works for you. So if you're going to find a gallery that specifies what they want for you, you've got to ask yourself whether or not you as an artist can do that. Can you live within the confines of what they want you to create? Or would you want to be freer and create what you want to create? Um, I think it's just a matter of finding out where you belong and where you feel the most comfortable and the most happy. I think there's a space for everybody in this world. You've just got to find it. And it takes work to go find your spot in the world, but there is a spot for everybody.
So you are a full-time artist in South Africa? Are you not? Mm.
No, I'm not. I do still work during the day.
Mm.
I work half day during the day and then I concentrate on my artwork. But I think at the moment I'm still very much in mom mode. I'm
Oh, okay.
raising, I've still got two youngsters at school. So I'm very much still into fixing their schooling and sorting them out during the day, especially my daughter who needs help. Um, so I'd like to think I'm a jack of all trades at this stage. I'm not full time in anything. I'm part time in absolutely everything that I do.
Oh, okay.
I'd
But
like
you,
to be full time though.
yeah, but you make
Um,
amazing work. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's, you know, if you look at your artworks, it it's alive. You know, it's almost as you see the person behind the artwork. Mm.
Thank you. Yes, I believe the artworks. I think everything sits in the eyes, doesn't it?
Mm.
If you look at an artwork and you look at the eyes need to resonate with you. It needs to pull you in. It needs to tell you a story. It needs to um, make you feel all the feels, like they say. And I need people to. I don't know. I hope people connect with the stories that I'm trying to tell behind each one, not just for the technical ability, but with the stories. So I'm very grateful that the galleries that I've been with have been conveying those stories and trying to I don't want to say sell through the stories, but communicate the art versus the story. What people do with the story and the artwork from there is within their hearts, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can tell a story and the art can mean one thing to you, but you looking at my art, it can mean something completely different to you. It's what you take out of the art. That's what's important.
Mm. That's true. But Liesl, what are your wishes for the future? What is the dream?
Community.
Mm.
Yes, I would like to work full-time art. It is my dream to create every day. I don't know if that is sustainable. I have always wanted to. I'll spend every day drawing if I could. But my biggest dream would be community. I would love to create a space for women and kids to just come sit and just be creative and not art therapy. I'm not a therapist, but art through therapy. You know what I'm saying? Just to
Yeah.
come sit here and be creative, be yourself, find yourself, and just have a bunch of people around you that are like-minded. Maybe you're going through something, maybe you're not, maybe you just want to be creative. So my vision is to have people, a community, to be creative, to have a creative space to go to, because in our area that I'm living in, there is no such spaces. And I often find a lot of the people that I speak to, there's nowhere to go. Where do you go? Where do you go to be creative? To just be. And it's something that I'm working on for the future.
Mm. And it's true, and especially with children. This is my big dream and passion as well, to think that children should have the possibility to do some form of art, and to be creative and to explore everything, because I think we are so quick to think that art is not important in schools or not important as in education, and it leaves children that think if they are creative, if they do something in some form of art, that it's not important. And I think it's like you say, in that community spirit, you can do so much.
You can. Art for children, I think, is the most important. Our schools have been letting go of art slowly but surely over the years. I'm fortunate that our schools still have it, where my kids are currently. But they have been letting go of that. And it is so important for them to learn by touch and by creativity and by seeing things, learning how to see an object, learning how to create an object, learning how to work with your hands, learning how to create, whether it's, I don't know, woodwork or painting or anything like that. Kids need that foundation of creativity that doesn't get judged. And I think this is what my biggest gripe is with the schooling system. When I was at school, we didn't necessarily get report cards on our artworks. We weren't judged on the artworks we created. Nowadays, the kids are getting judged on their artworks, and it's always according to someone else's opinion, one person's opinion, one teacher's opinion, and that one teacher might be that one teacher that only likes abstract work, or he only likes realism, or the curriculum says it must follow one guideline. And art isn't in a little box. Art is a million little boxes.
Yeah.
Art is a freestyle. You can't judge kids on a freestyle medium. You can't judge kids on their creativity. Creativity, it should be boundless and not shoved into a little 30-minute period where a teacher tells them what to do and how to do it and what it should look like. And you only get these marks if it looks like whatever they prescribe it to look like. And that is the sad part. So I would like to be able to create an environment where kids can just come in and just create, just find themselves. This is how we find ourselves as an artist. We find ourselves by experimenting. We find ourselves by finding a color pencil and drawing something new every day with a color pencil as opposed to a paintbrush from yesterday. It's something new. It's something that we build upon. And it also, I think it's important for the development in the brain as well, and also the emotional stability and for everybody, not just for kids, for everybody. It creates an environment of where you can be contemplative and reflect.
Exactly.
And it's important.
I've been also speaking to a few neuroscientists, and there's so much research already been done on how art, music, all dancing, all forms of art really impact the brain. And you would think there should be more in schools, or there should be more art activities for children for their brain development, you know. So wonderful that you have this idea, and I really hope that this, you know, that you can pull it off and get it going, and I'll wish with you for that to happen.
Thank you. Maybe one day you can come sit with us and be creative with us.
I would love to. I would love
spend
to
a
do
day
that.
and
Your
do some
studio,
lino cutting.
yeah, your studio is so inviting, really. I would love to come and sit with you there.
Absolutely, you are welcome. Everybody is welcome.
Thank
But
you,
you are
Lizl.
definitely welcome anytime. If you're ever in the area,
I
in
will
South
definitely
Africa.
let you know, definitely. Thank you so much, Lizl. This was so great to talk to you. I love your art, and I'm so glad and so thankful to Anina for sharing your page, your Instagram page with me so that I could contact you.
Thank you. Yes, she's a wonderful friend and a wonderful artist. I shall go and thank her for introducing us. That is wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's a pleasure. Okay.